Okay, hi guys. Welcome to February Monthly Club. Hopefully everything's working. So if somebody wants to just type in the little box that you can see me, that would be great. I am really excited to show you guys some fun cards this month. So if you are part of my regular monthly club attendees, you know the drill. I have packets of cards that I either mail out to you or you get to pick up from my house. And tonight I'm going to show you how to put those cards together. If you're just tuning in because you saw this come up on your feed, that is great. I do have a couple extra kits. They are $15 or free if you place a $35 order with me. And we can get you one of those and you can just watch the replay and assemble your kits as you want. If you don't want a prepped set of kits, you're welcome to maybe use some of your own supplies and craft along with us. I don't give you all the measurements though, just because everything for the other ladies is already cut and prepped. So this class is a little less of a tutorial and a little bit more of a just guided assembly. But I'm still glad that you're watching and I hope you get some ideas as well. So I have a couple announcements that I want to start with before we get into our crafting, and that should give you guys a chance to get your materials organized. If you want to follow along with the crafting, you're going to want a couple inks, Real Red and Blackberry Bliss, for your sentiments. And our sentiments are Valentine's ones, so I'll show you those on the cards, but if you want to just grab those inks and have them on hand, that would be good. So announcement number one is about Celebration. I've chatted about this guy for the last few months now, but it is coming to an end. So at the end of February, the items in this catalog will no longer be available for free and you won't be able to find them anymore. So what Celebration is for every $60 or as you go through the book, see there's $60 icon, $60 icon. There's some $120 icons. So for every $60 or $120 that you spend, you get to pick something from this book for free. You can get unlimited amounts of things. So if you wanted 10 packs of paper, you're welcome to spend $600 and get the same pack every time. It's completely up to you what you pick. And I have been so impressed with the stock, and I was like a little wary because of all the supply issues, but so far, nothing is out of stock. So everything in this catalog is still currently available. However, they are while supplies last. So some items like the paper especially may run out before the month ends. So tonight is a great chance for you to go ahead and purchase them. Along the lines of making the most of your dollar, I wanted to chat about Paper Pumpkin. So for those of you who subscribe, it's a little red box that gets mailed to you every month. All the supplies are pre-prepped and ready for you to craft with. Just so you know, the prices for those are going to be going up in March. Just I think $2 per kit. So it's not too bad, but just because of the cost of inflation and everything like that, Stamping Up did give us a heads up that those are going up. But if you're like me, I like to buy prepaid subscriptions, especially around celebration time. So I buy myself the 12-month subscription, which is $300 plus tax. So that might not be in your budget. You may decide, hey, I'd like to get the 3-month or the 6-month or the 9-month subscription. Those are all fair game. You will earn celebration items for buying them now. You will also save those $2 per kit on the ones that you pre-order. Don't stress about it if it's not in the budget, but those do count towards your club order too. So if you message me and you're like, hey, I'd like to place an order, I'd like a 6 months Paper Pumpkin, that counts towards getting my kit tonight for free. Okay? So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Celebration is also my time that I like to stock up on things like my dimensionals, actually basically any adhesives and paper, because otherwise I don't usually get rewarded for buying those kind of things. The last thing that you really should think about buying this month is refills for the 5 in colors that are going to be retiring come April. So right now people are thinking about celebration. That's what their mind is on. As soon as they start thinking about the retired list, they're going to start stocking up on the paper and the ink refills for these 5 ink colors. So I do have to say, if you love the paper, then for sure stock up, but don't stock up just out of like feeling like you're going to miss out, because there's going to be lots of other colors out there. But if you have invested in these ink pads and you have not purchased the ink refills, I really, really would like you to purchase them this month, because if your ink pad dries up and you don't have an ink refill to replace, you kind of have lost your investment in these ink pads. But if you buy an ink refill, I would say one bottle is enough, unless you're somebody who maybe for the misty moonlight, you use this all the time for something. Go ahead and get two. But in general, one bottle will last you your life. Okay, so just grab one refill for each of the colors so that we don't have to worry, and I don't have to have you messaging me in May being all sad because they've retired and they're gone. So make sure to order those, okay? I wanted to let you guys know about that because right now they're all available. But once people start shopping, Stampin' Up! Does not replace their inventory for these. They're gone. And I've seen them go in March too. So I'm going to tell you, just order them now. Okay, couple other things, not on the topic of celebration. The next topic is my winter calendar. Ignore this fall word. This was my rough draft. So if I did send this out to you guys in December with your kits, but if you maybe didn't receive one in December or something and you need one, let me know and I can email you this. It's just really handy to have on hand because it has the information for all of my classes when they're not posted online yet. So just so you guys know, I don't post my February class until February 1st. I don't post my March classes until March 1st. So that goes for the monthly club and that goes for the specialty class. Every once in a while they'll be up early because I do want to give you guys a heads up because it's more expensive of a class like the specialty things, or it's a retreat and you really want to put the date aside. But other than that, I put them on my Lauren Scraplot page at the beginning of each month because that just, with Facebook's algorithms, they were either deleting my events for some reason when I created them too early, or I wasn't getting people responding properly because it wasn't popping up for you guys. And, you know, that's a big problem because then you're missing out. So I have printed these calendars for you. January, of course, would be obsolete. February, though, would have the information for monthly class. And then my specialty class is the Rainbow of Happiness specialty class. So that set is based off of, I do a whole class around this stamp set and bundle. So you're guaranteed to be able to make use of the bundle. If you don't own it already, then the price would be $69.25, and it includes this bundle. It includes a free pack of the paper that goes with it and all the projects for the class. If you own this bundle, like some of you do, then I also have a class option where you can just pay $25 and all you get is the projects and like the PDF that goes with it and stuff like that. But we're going to have a lot of fun. I have the projects now all designed. I just need to finish prepping them. And one of them, I made a shaker card out of Nerds candy. So it's a lot of fun. They're a little busier of cards, but they're very, very fun. And you're going to get lots of use out of this bundle. So just to give you a few ideas of what I've done already with that bundle, and I've shown you these before, but this was a set of cards that I made with the bundle using one of my Show Me How It's Done videos. So just really simple note cards. This was a really fun pop-up card. It was a fun fold. So that guy's really fun too. And then I also have crafted with Alice Nokomitsu over the weekend a little bit. And here is a few designs that she did with the bundle. So these are all ideas for you. You're going to get that bundle or you're going to have it. And along with the ideas that I'm giving you, you now also have all of these ideas to work with too. So if you want to sign up for that, please do. If you need me to order that bundle for you, tell me right away because we need to get that for you. And also if you need it mailed then I need you signed up quickly too, because I need to get it in the mail for you. And then just a heads up for March, it's going to be based on the New Horizons. I should actually show you that in the catalog. Bundle or suite. So just so you can plan ahead a little bit, the details I will be posting. So that class is $50, and it does include the New Horizons stamp set because we're going to be stamping with it like crazy. If you already own it, then you can just message me with your registration and sub out a stamp set of your choice that's the same value, okay? But you do need to have it for that class. So it's based on this suite. So I don't have them all designed yet, but I absolutely love the paper. I love the pebble embellishments, and I knew I wouldn't be happy with just one card based on that suite. So put that on your calendars. It is the 22nd of March, and put it on your budget if you want to join in, because I really would love to create with you guys and to show you some really fun stuff with that. So again, if you don't have this calendar, let me know and we'll get it to you. Last announcement is about a new suite of products. It's called the All Together Suite. I'm not going to do a ton of talking about this because I did a Facebook Live already last week, so you can always go back and check it out. I went over the entire bundle, all the paper and the new blends, and I showed them to you. But because I have them handy and I've just had fun looking, look at all the new blends colors. This is from lightest to darkest. So the blends you can buy in sets of light, medium, medium deep, and deep, or you can buy all 10 of them for $61.25 and get a free celebration item. So just so you know, the stamp and dies will be in the new annual catalog, which starts in May. The paper will not, as far as I know. It won't be showing up, but the blends will, okay? So you can maybe plan around that if you're wondering, but I do think you'll get a lot of use out of these blends, even if you bought them now. And look at this beautiful bundle. I'm excited to make some cards with it soon. So that is available. You can add it to your orders tonight. If you're like, hey, I would like this, and this, there is one item code. It's 143 for everything. That would earn you 2 celebration items, and it would definitely get you your club kit for free as well, okay? So those are some options for you. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. My screen's a little wonky today, so I can't really read your comments. I see briefly many of you commenting, but I dropped something while I was doing my Show Me How It's Done video this afternoon, and I think that loosened something up. So it's working. I can see the feed, but it's flickering every once in a while. So if you have questions, just put them in the comments and I'll get back to you, or private message me and I'll do the same. But just a heads up that my evening is usually like busy giving people their order totals. So if you don't hear from me, please do not think I'm ignoring you. I'll get to you as soon as I can, okay? Okay, let's do some crafting. So the first thing that I would like you guys to find is the envelope that has some heart kind of pieces. So some of you will have a white base and a blackberry heart cut out. Others will have exactly like you see in front of you, okay? So because February is Valentine's and, you know, the month of love, I wanted to do a card with that. This one is using one of our new bundles in the catalog, so hopefully you can see all those. And here we go. It's the Love and Happiness stamp set, which is sold with a coordinating die set. And let me grab the embossing folder. And an embossing folder. So this embossing folder is actually really fun in the fact that it cuts out, or it embosses these beautiful images, but it also can cut out the center and leave this stitched look if you take your die and put it stitched side up, and you just put it inside of, there's like a little groove in the heart, like this. So you're gonna put it inside there, put your paper over top, and run everything through the cut and emboss machine. And what you get is this piece, and then of course this piece in the correct color. I just swapped them because I wanted two different designs. So I am gonna do a video of this card start to finish. I just didn't have time to film it fully so that you can visualize how to run this through. But I will get that done for you guys this week so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But everyone will have these pieces already done for you. Once again, one of you will be making the vanilla version of this, and the other half of you will be making the blackberry version. Okay, so these are the two options, and they're very simple to put together. So let me show you how that is done. And I absolutely love this pearl paper. It's so fun. Okay, so our little card, we're going to start with the piece that goes on the inside. If you have the white card base, you will not have a piece for the inside, simply because you can write on that piece. You don't need another piece of vanilla. Okay, so we're going to add this to the inside here super fast. And I like to use the double-sided tape, but you're welcome to use any other flat adhesive, glue, seal, anything else you like to put this on the inside. Now, I didn't do any stamping or anything with it, but you certainly could come back later and do that. I actually thought from this set here, there's some little like flowers. Those would maybe be really cute if I cut them out and put a little cluster in the bottom corner, but I didn't get that far. I wanted this to be a very easy and friendly card for us to make and for me to prep. So now comes your beautiful piece that has your embossing and the heart on the inside. So whether that is blackberry or whether that's pearl, you're putting it on the same way. We're going to put some adhesive on the back and just stick it straight onto our card front. So because I've got so much texture along my paper, I'm actually going to put adhesive all the way around this perimeter, and that's just going to help me make sure this stays in place, okay? And really to make sure that heart kind of stays flat, you might even want a couple pieces around the heart, maybe like so. So do the whole perimeter and then just put a couple pieces around the heart. You don't have to do the whole beautiful outline of it. So the reason I did two different colors for this card is because you're doing the work already. I'm running this through and out would pop a pearl heart. And so if I didn't do opposite card designs, then I'd end up with a pile of random pearl hearts that I'm not using. So I hope you guys are okay that I have decided to take the liberty and just do two different hearts, because then if you prep this, you can basically make two of them at the same time. So now I'm working with my Blackberry Bliss heart, and again, you might have pearl. So we're going to pop this piece up on dimensionals so that it comes out of the card. And I think that will be the most beautiful way for you to get the full effect. So we're putting this right in this empty space for the heart, and it fits perfectly. So that's lovely. Then what I did, so this is the only piece that you're gonna have to run like a scrap piece of paper through your embossing folder. You know, one with blackberry and one with pearl. And then you do have to cut out this little heart. There's a die for it, don't worry, from that scrap. But you can use the same scrap for multiple pieces and projects, okay? So this little heart, I'm also going to pop on dimensionals, but I don't want the part that's overlapping my first heart to have a dimensional. So I'm really only going to put it onto the back of the right-hand side and the bottom of the heart. Okay, so if I just turn this over, I'm going to put it on the right-hand side and the bottom of my heart, and that should be good. It will not be lopsided this way. And I just overlapped it slightly with my large heart. Okay. Now this is really cute as it is. You can leave it if you're somebody who isn't sure who this is going to and you maybe just want to add a sentiment later. But I did use the label die from this set and punched out the tag just in case you want it. And I grabbed the stamp that said, "To the one I love." So I told you guys to get Blackberry Bliss, and I didn't. There we go. I'm going to grab it now. So tap, 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 because remember these are super juicy ink pads. You don't need to get very heavy. And then, sorry, I need to see. So I stamped it straight down in the middle and pull up. Okay, so "To the one I love," and you can pop this up on dimensionals as well because it's cute that way. So turn that over. I just do about 3 dimensionals across. And I'm going to put this in the bottom left corner. Now, if you're wanting to decorate it more, you could certainly add something like some pearls or even the iridescent rhinestones. Any of those would really add a little bit of character to your card. But I think the pearl paper speaks volumes. So you don't necessarily have to add lots because we've already done so with the pearl shimmer on this paper. So this card I address to the one I love. However, it would be a perfect Valentine's card. It would be a perfect wedding card. It would be a perfect thinking of you card. Even sympathy, right? So you don't necessarily have to commit to your sentiment right now. You can save that for another time. But I always match the color of my sentiment ink to the color of my main card as well. So there we go. So it's all pretty. So just so you guys know, I will put pictures of these up tomorrow. I'll try and snap a quick one tonight for the comments, but I'll put a nice edited version up for you to come back and refer to. And the video for this is going to be available as soon as I'm done this class. So if I'm maybe working a little faster than you're comfortable with and you want to just kind of take your time and enjoy your crafting, go ahead and just either continue on with the card that you were working on or put that aside and do what you can with the next card along with us and then come back and watch the replay, okay? So I'm not trying to rush you, but I do know that everyone's time is valuable, and so I'm just going to keep this moving with the instruction. You can always come back and watch the replays after. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside, and because it's Valentine's, we need to do some more Valentine's things. Okay, so in your little packet, you'll have 2 baggies. One of them has kind of either a purple or a pink set of cards, and the other will have this gift box. So because I love you, we're not doing 3 projects this month, we're doing 4, one of which is just a bonus little card because I designed this adorable little box. Well, I didn't design the box, sorry. I decorated Stampin' Up's adorable box, and I thought this would be really cute for you to give away, but it would be even cuter if you had a tiny greeting card to go with it. So just so you know, this greeting card is made so it actually can fit inside of the box. So you could either like use my measurements and make a ton of them and put them inside the box, or you can just put it inside the box and maybe you want to put like a gift card or something in there too. It all fits in here. Okay, and then I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do the purple design or the pink design. So half of you got pink and half of you got purple. So I don't know, which one should we do first? Let's do our box. So I'm gonna move those. And from your little baggie, you can take out all the pieces for your box. Here we go. Okay, so job number 1 is to take Stampin' Up's box and fold on all the lines that they have given you. So they've already done the scoring for us. We just have to come along, and I like using my bone folder here. This is a nice solid edge. If you don't have one, you can use the edge of a stamping block, or you can use your fingernails, but I like this bone folder. It just makes my life easy. So go through and do all those edges. You want everything folded. And it's a thicker box. This is food safe, just so you know. So you could put little candies in there. Okay, so there. All of our box pieces are done. You'll notice one side is really shiny and the others is really dull. And there's already tape in here, okay? So this box was made, oh, pardon me. There we go. This box was made so that you only need the adhesive that Stampin' Up has given you, okay? So let's turn it so that the flap of your box is kind of facing away from you. And we're going to fold. I'm just going to show you how to fold this box before I even bother taking off the adhesives, okay? So I'm going to put these 2 middle flaps kind of inside, and then this bottom side piece just goes wrapping around them, so that when I stand my box up, the pieces with the adhesive would tuck just to the sides of that. Okay, so I'm going to show you once more because I know it's really hard to see. Okay, so tuck these 2 middle flappies in and then stand your box up. Now you can take off these adhesive backings like so. And you can wrap this around your box. I like to just rest this on my table and wrap. Kind of gives your box a hug like that. So there's your pretty box. But I wanted to decorate it because that's fun. So here's what I did. I'm going to move that out of my way and that out of my way. So I started with a piece of plain Highland Heather and a piece of Designer Series paper. And I'm going to attach those 2 together with a flat adhesive. So tape is my choice here. And I'm going to go ahead and attach those 2 together. You may have a different pattern on your paper, or you can use the back side too, so it might be different. Now my box opens, you know, up this way, but it's totally your choice. You can either make this the front of the box where they would have to kind of reach in behind and pull this out, or for mine, I ended up making my little pouch open towards the back. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do with this one as well. It just kind of makes a little bit more sense to me. So I'm going to take my little part up at the top, and maybe actually I'll leave it open so that it reminds me where I'm working. And I'm going to put this piece on top of there with dimensionals, so it has a little bit of character. Okay, so that's just going to go like this. It should fit right in the center of that space. Okay, so now the rest of your pieces, there'll be 2 long strips, 2 short strips, and 1 fat. They're all getting attached with flat adhesive, so you can go ahead and get them ready. And I embossed them with the gingham embossing folder. So that one is also in the new catalog, and it doesn't matter which side is the top because they pretty much look identical. Okay, so just go ahead, put a bunch of adhesive on these pieces, and they're going to cover the surface areas that we have not done yet. So it's probably pretty self-explanatory. If you wanted to work ahead, you can go ahead and start adding those to your box. All right, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to start with my largest piece because that one's very obvious where it goes. Goes on the reverse, so the back side of my box. Ooh, make sure you go on straight. Don't go crooked. There we go. And you can always stick your finger or your bone folder inside. Just kind of gently press against the table if you want to make sure that adhesive sticks. And then on the sides, you can take your 2 longer strips. They'll really only fit one place, so start with the longer. Here's one side and the other. Add that right there. Like so. And then for my little strips, I am going to close my box up because we don't need a strip on the flap, but we do want a strip on the top of the box here. I will go ahead and add that. And then I know you don't typically do the bottom of a box, but I just figured you might as well, just in case somebody has this kind of facing, the side on their desk or something like that. It just tops it off to be able to have that second piece on the bottom. So there's your box. You need to fill it to make it look beautiful and full, but it's adorable. To make a tag, I have cut some pieces out of the designer series paper. That's where these came from. The where's the stamp set? There we go. So this is the Sweet Conversation stamp set. You can go ahead and you can make your own little hearts if you want, and you can cut them out with the coordinating dies, or you can take the piece of designer series paper, which is right here, this guy right here, that's covered in all of these little heart images, and the dies go perfectly around them. So here's the text me one, and there's another one. So there's 3 sizes of hearts and 3 sizes of heart images, so you can use those and cheat. Then you don't have to do anything else. And I got the little tag from down here as well. Okay, so to assemble this, I'm going to start with my gingham little heart. It will be either red or white. for your kit, just put a couple dimensionals onto it. And we're going to tilt it just to the right-hand side of our tag, okay? So it just kind of tilts to the right so that now when you add whatever your large heart is, so everyone will have different ones. Some are green, some are purple, some are peach. We're gonna offset them, but just like we did with this heart, we don't want dimensionals on the section that overlaps your heart. So you're actually only gonna just put one dimensional or two dimensionals beside your white heart so that your large heart, whatever it is, can rest on top like that. So this is cute, just like it is, but that paper was so full of hearts that I knew I had to keep going. So I grabbed us a small one as well, and I'm just going to put a tiny dimensional down below the white heart, and this one can attach itself there too. Okay, so it's really fun, and if you'd like, you can take the string that I've given you. So everyone has different kinds. There's red and white, there's red, there's white. So you can wrap this around as few times or as many times as you want. But what I do is I leave myself kind of enough string to tie a bow with. And then I'm just going to wrap this around the box as far as my string will go and tie it on the front, just in a knot. And that will help my string not move while I'm trying to do other things. Okay, so I've done a knot. Now I can make this pretty because you know it wasn't that pretty before. So spread your strings out, give them a little space between each other, and then you can grab your tag and add it onto here. I have done a bow on this one. However, if you don't like bows, you can just take this and make a 1 knot, 2 knot, like so, and snip the ends. Oi, 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 where's my stuff? Snip the ends and nobody will know the difference, okay? They don't have to undo it to undo the box, which is nice as well. And if you want to get even fancier, you can unspool. This is fun with a gibbled hand. Okay, you can undo these little strings, and then they look, when they're all separated, they look really fun and like they have a little bit of character. Okay, so undo all of them so that they kind of look like that. Do you see the difference? It's kind of like 4 strings now instead of just one plain one. So take this one, do the same thing. Over time, your string might loosen up and you don't have to start from scratch. There. So I think that looks kind of cute. And there we go. There's my little tags. This one was definitely placed a little bit lower. If I wanted to move it, your string, you could also kind of just pull it and start working it around the box. There we go. So that it's a little bit more centered on there. But it's up to you. However you want it to be is great. And if you really want it to kind of stay in place, just grab a dimensional, stick it down on your box, maybe even 2 dimensionals. And then you can adjust this to where you want it and stick it in place. So then it's not going to fly all over the place when you shake your box. It will be nice and perfect every time. So there's your box. It's fun. I basically just decorated what Stampin' Up! Had. I think the boxes come in a set of 10, but like you saw, they're very easy to assemble. So let's do a card for them, okay? So you'll either make a purple card or a pink card, whatever your kit has inside. So I'm making a pink one. I'm gonna just move this here so you can maybe still see it if you're working on the box, and start working on the cards. Okay, so this is a lot of tiny pieces to work with, but that's okay. We can do this. The piece of designer series paper, whatever it is going to go on the front of your card, and the piece of white paper, whatever color you have, is going on the inside. Okay, so just attach those with some double-sided tape. That all set up. And it's completely up to you. Remember, all your paper has two sides. So choose the side that appeals to you when you're making your little project. And do make sure that your card is opening the right way, because this heart piece is very directional. So you'd be sad if you put it on upside down. Okay, so I've added that. And once again, for this set, I used the Cute Conversation stamp, dies, and the paper that comes with it as well. And you could always come back and maybe stamp one of those little hearts inside here, but I didn't today. So I am going to grab myself first my white tag, and once again, I used that gingham embossing folder. So I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. And I'm putting this kind of towards the top left of my card. So just at a slight angle, but I'm putting it up towards the top left of the card there. And I did give you a little bit of string if you wanted to tie a bow. Don't know how well I can tie bows right now. My wrist is not very happy with me right now. But tie a little bow, or you don't have to if you don't like bows. Do the string like we did on the card or on the box. There we go. Okay, there's my little bow. It's okay. So there you are. Next, this little thing, this little envelope, I should say, is the die that you probably are going to look at in the set and say, what on earth is that? I don't know where I put my set. Here we go. So this die right here, this one is actually for making an envelope. So the outside pieces will cut the shape, and the inside lines are just going to make an embossed line for you to fold on. Okay, so if you have yours up close, you can see that you could actually fold all of those little pieces like so. Okay, now if you kind of twirl it around, you'll notice that one of the sides is bigger than the other three. The other three kind of look almost equal. One of them is a little tiny bit bigger, and that is the one that we want to use for the bottom of our piece. Now, if you can't find it, don't stress. It's not a big deal. But if you can find it, put it towards the bottom of your workspace. And what we're going to do is we're going to put dimensionals now on the bottom, left, and right panel. We won't put it on the top to make our envelope, okay? So I like to use glue dots. So when I do that, I just put it straight onto my roll and pull off. Straight onto my roll, pull off. Straight onto my roll and pull off. Okay, so now what I should have is 3 dimensionals and 1 spot without. Okay, and I actually made a mistake. You don't need it on one of the side panels because that would close this up completely. So I'm sorry. Only just 2, the bottom and either the left or the right. So whichever one you have not put a dimensional on or a glue dot, fold in towards the center. The one that has the dimensional or the glue dot, whichever you choose, is going to close it up. And so now those 2 pieces should, oh, I think I got a little bit stuck. There we go. Should be able to kind of stick something in and through. Now your bottom one is going to close these up for good. Like so. Okay, so your little envelope, we are going to start filling. So I'm going to take my large heart, whichever color that is, put a glue dot on the back, and just stick it into my envelope. Okay, you can put it at a slight angle if you want to or if you can, but it doesn't matter, it'll almost fit fully in there. And then it's totally up to you. You have a red heart and a white heart that you can play with. So I think I'm going to do my white heart, put a little glue dot on it, and put it also inside the envelope. Now my red heart is going to go on the outside of the card, right here, with 1 dimensional to pop it up, like so. And then you have this really cute strip of hearts, okay? So this is going to get tucked into your envelope just like so. You don't need to put a glue dot, but if you want to, go ahead and put it on the bottom here. Nobody's gonna see this, so it doesn't matter that you can actually see other pieces of the glue right now. Okay, so stick it in the envelope at an angle. There we go. Like that. And there's your little envelope. We'll decorate with our tag in just a second, but go ahead and get this on your card so you don't lose it because it's tiny. So I'm putting dimensionals on the back of this. Like so. And we're just going to take those backings off and put this onto our card. So this kind of goes in the bottom section now. Then I made that cardinal mistake where I put a dimensional on top of something that's dimensionalized. So you might want to just go in and take that part out so that it's all on the same level, like so. Okay, so that's cute. Let's keep going. I cut you out this really tiny little flag now. So if you have something that's small enough, such as the Sending Hugs stamp set, I used 2U, but you could maybe use like kisses or something else like that. I'm going to add this with real red ink very carefully because it's so tiny. So here's 2U. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. So totally your choice. You can either make use of that little tag or not. I'm not offended if you decide not to. And all I did was attach that with just 1 glue dot on each end. So the back, the front, and that'll go straight across, oops, straight across my little heart here. Like so. And then to finalize it, you may have to check back in your bag because it's hiding, I gave you one little iridescent rhinestone to finish the project off with. And I put it just in the top right-hand corner of the red heart. So here's what it looks like if you use the tag, and here's what it looks like if you didn't use the tag and stamp something. It's totally up to you. I think this looks great as well, but I just realized some of us maybe wanted to make use of that little flag. If you have tiny printing, you could also write love or something like that. It's totally your choice. Okay, let me get a couple things out of my way while you guys are still working. Okay, so once again, I will for sure have the replay going right after this. So don't worry if you got lost. I know there's lots of little pieces to these cards, and so you might have to grab your tweezers or something to work with them. But they're really fun, and I hope you enjoyed the little bonus of the mini card with this month too. So, as I mentioned, we have one project left, and I've been teasing you guys for the last day about it. Those of you who are on my team, you got a sneak peek of this last night, and those of you who watched my episode Show Me How It's Done at noon today, I made this card. It's a reverse easel card. So there is a full video with all the measurements on how to make this card up on my page or on my YouTube channel, Lauren Scraplot for both. But we're using those same measurements tonight to make a card with the Ladybug and the Bumblebee. Also, conveniently, there is no Bumblebee anywhere. So I used the Ladybug punch and I made it into a Bumblebee, and I will show you how. So your last envelope of the night should be filled with all the goodies for this project. Okay, so put all the little pieces aside for the moment. Things that you think put together a bee, little rectangle strips, that sort of stuff. Put those all aside and just kind of spread out in front of you the other materials that you have. So you should have 2 pieces of designer paper, 2 pieces of black rectangle, a piece of evening evergreen, and a vanilla that goes inside of it, and then lots of squares. Okay, so let's start with the squares. This is our card base, and instead of a typical card which opens, you know, either to the side or up and down, we're going to add a extra score line right here, which I've done for you, so that you can bend this part backwards. Take your bone folder and make that a nice crisp line. Okay. So now when it pops out, it should look like this. You should have a square right in front of you, and then if you kind of flatten those out, you'd have 2 rectangle spaces. So that should be what you see at the moment. We're going to decorate those spaces, and the nice thing is these pieces will really only fit in one space, okay? So let's grab all the black that you have, apart from the ladybug bodies. You're going to grab a square, you're going to grab those 2 rectangles, and you can see if I put them down in these spaces that they fit quite nicely with a little border. Grab an adhesive and go ahead and assemble that section. Okay, so put all 3 of those down. So there's one black in my big space here. Second black. That's going to go in here. And the last one will go in the section at the top. This one is really fun if you prep a few of them at a time and just assemble them, because the major work is all the different measurements. But if you're doing, 5 or even 10 maybe at a time, it's not such a big deal. And this is all the same color, right? So next step would be to add the layers. So if I spread my card open, you can see I've put my 2 yellows, and you guys, once again, you may decide you would like the other side, or you may have something different, but I don't think I gave different colors for this one. Make sure your daffodils are not upside down. Look, this is sad, okay? So make sure they're all right side up. When you're looking at them, you've got the 2 sections of rectangles and then the 1 section with a square. They should all be facing, upright if you're looking at them. So go ahead and attach those pieces. This is the Daffodil Delight paper. That's one of the celebration freebies. And it does coordinate with the Daffodil bundle that's in the catalog. So I've made sure to grab myself a few extras of these because there isn't paper sold with the Daffodil bundle. And this paper is so beautiful. So I'm going to want to keep using it, since that bundle's around for at least a few more months. All right, so there's my daffodil cluster. And then comes my yellow one. So there's one. And here's 2. There we go. Oh, good. I can see my screen now. Hi, ladies. You can see Jill and Deanna and Kim and Kayla and Gail. Wonderful. I'm sure a few other people commented, but you got bumped up. Out of my view. Okay, so here is what you should have at the moment. You've got your nice card base. Like that. Okay. So the next piece of the puzzle that we're going to work on is down here, these sentiment sections. So those are 2 little rectangles. You should have one that is the evening evergreen and one that is vanilla. We're going to attach those 2 together, but if you're a little unsure about your stamping, go ahead and stamp first, okay? So I made this one a happy birthday card, but I'm going to turn this one into a Valentine's card because I need a few of those to give out. So I'm using the Happy Valentine's Day sentiment from that cute conversation set we just played with. It's got this cute little Happy Valentine's Day in a great little font. So I thought I would like to use that for this card here. So once you've gotten that done, you can go ahead and attach this to the card. My door's opening. What's up, buddy? When I'm done my video, I'll come fill it up for you, okay? Of course, when Daddy puts them to bed, he doesn't do humidifiers. It's so dry in my house. I feel for them. Okay, here's Happy Valentine's Day. Ooh, Amy asked, what set is Happy Birthday from? That, I believe, is, where's my celebration flyer? Threw it on the floor. I believe it's from the Special Moments stamp set. Yes, okay. So in the celebration flyer, the Special Moments stamp set, I really suggest you get it because it's full of so many things. That's where I got Happy Birthday from. Right there. Good question. Okay, let's pop this guy up on dimensionals, which I dropped. And make sure to put a few extra. Usually I only put like 2, maybe 3, but this is going to be supporting that easel feature. So you do want it to be sturdy. Okay. So now this piece, there's no exact measurement for how far it has to be up, but I put it up from the bottom, probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, just somewhere in between. Make sure you've got a nice balance of borders, and you can put this wherever you're happy. Oh, I forgot to take one off. There we go. Put this down wherever you're happy, okay? In the bottom section of that square. That's all you need, okay? Before we work on the butterfly panel, let's just quickly turn this over and put our plain piece of vanilla on the back. This is so that you have something to write on. However, because we've made this section nice and elevated, you may want to write your note ahead of time and then add this to the card after. So completely up to you. You could, you know, maybe have a little wonky of writing, but it should be fine. And you could certainly go back and stamp something fun on this later. I know in the Ladybug set, there's like a fun leaf or something. Maybe you'd want to put that in here, but I didn't for now because, yeah. Okay, I'll give you 2 seconds to catch up. And while you're doing that, I will grab the Ladybug picture for you so you can see what set I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the set I'm talking about. This is the one I'm using today. Mostly just using the punch, but I use these little dots on my wings to give a little character to those as well. But here's that leaf. If you wanted to add this to the back of your card, or even this cluster of flowers, that would be really cute. And I was pleasantly surprised, so far this is still in stock, because we've run out of things before and I was really thinking this would go quickly, which I know it's depleted because it's on low inventory, but it's still available right now. Okay, last panel is going to be this green rectangle with the hive embossed vanilla paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do is attach these 2 together first, then we will put them on the card. So I'm using a flat adhesive to put these together. And for ink colors, if you're wondering, I went ahead and I used Mossy Meadow for Happy Birthday, because that was one of the greens in the leaves, but you could use Pear Pizzazz or Evening Evergreen too. And then the red, Real Red, is my Happy Valentine's. So put those 2 together. Now, here comes the fun part. we want to put this in the top section of our card, but we don't want it to be attached to the bottom at all. So what I suggest is grab your dimensionals and put them straight onto the designer paper. Instead of putting them onto your rectangle, we're just going to put them in the center area, because of course we want that yellow showing on the sides. We want a little bit showing on the top. So just putting dimensionals in the middle of this section will mean that I still have all of that visible. Okay, so this piece, I'm going to just give myself the tiniest of borders on the top, and then making sure I've got about an equal space of yellow on the right and left. I can go ahead and attach this, and it's nicely attached as a flap, like so. Okay. So next we're going to build our Ladybug and Bumblebee, and we'll put those onto the card here. So the Ladybug is the easiest part. You're going to take one of those black little bodies that I punched out with the punch, and you're going to take your set of red wings, and we're going to attach those together like so. So what I've been doing is just taking some double-sided tape, but you of course could use a glue dot, or you can use some glue if you'd like, but I just took some tape and cut it in half, because now this is enough of a strip for me to use on my vellum set of wings for the bumblebee, and on my red set of wings for the ladybug. Okay, so I've just got a tiny strip, and take the backing off and just add that, kind of resting on the little bees or ladybug shoulders. Okay, so that's it for the ladybug. He's pretty good. It's the bumblebee that's fun. So I cut out a black little body, and then what I did was I took a large piece of bumblebee cardstock, so something that was like 6 by 6 or bigger, and I put one of our double-sided adhesive sheets on the back. So I turned the whole thing into a sticker by doing that, basically. Then I cut strips. These are just shy of a 1/4 inch, so about 3/8 of an inch. You don't have to measure exactly, but just like a little thinner than a 1/4 inch would be. And I just cut a ton of them, but they're all stickers now because of that adhesive sheet. So all I'm going to do is take one section of the backing off and put it right across his body. And then you just trim this off. We will trim everything really nicely at the end. Don't worry about that. Make sure you've got more of that sticker showing. And add another. So I've given you enough in your strip so you can make 3 or 4 strips of yellow on your bee. Depends on what you want. It's totally up to you, okay? So I'm just going to do 3, but as I mentioned, there's more than enough if you wanted to do 4. So my bee looks kind of funny right now, so I'm just going to turn him over and trim this yellow off. There we go. There is an adorable bee. We're going to grab wings that I cut out from the vellum cardstock. Isn't it beautiful? Take off that backing. And because the bee is striped, that's why I end up doing the stripe of double-sided tape, because I really found you didn't notice it as much because it was a little darker of a shade, but you don't notice in the context of the other stripes on him. Okay? So put that whole stripe on as opposed to like a glue dot, which would be a very clear circle. So didn't really want that. So if you guys want, you can make their wings raised a little simply by taking your bone folder and gently pulling towards you. Okay, so you got your thumb on one side of the wing, the bone folder on the other. You're just gently lifting those wings off the bee, and you can do the same with your ladybug. But of course you don't have to. They look cute on their own. And we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of both of those little insects. One, two, three. And you can put them onto this middle section however you would like. So I'm going to put my ladybug tilted towards the left and my bumblebee tilted towards the right. But again, totally up to you. They could go in the same way. They could, you know, have the ladybug up here and the bee down here. Totally up to you. So this card, as we saw, it sits quite nicely as an easel. But you'll notice with this card that we've just made, if I try to stand it up now, it doesn't touch this edge. It looks rather plain. It might even be tempted to just fall back again. That's because we need to give this line back here a nice crisp fold again. So fold your card in half and give this a nice crisp fold. Okay, so that when we pop this up, it now will push into that rectangle section. And this is really good to note too, because if you're mailing this, you're going to kind of fold your card down, put it in an envelope. Maybe just go ahead, give this a nice crisp go over before you mail it off, so that when your recipient gets it, they can quickly and easily pop it up, because you know what to do in this case, they might not. Okay, so there you go. There's your little set of cards. You can make a Valentine's, birthday, thinking of you, any sort of card. And it does really look cute when it's kind of facing you like that. There you go. So I can see your comments right now. So does anyone have any questions that I could quickly answer for you? And if not, that is okay. You can feel free to message me as well. I'll give you a minute. Okay, while you guys are thinking, I do have one last thing on the agenda, and that is a new tradition I've started doing, which is called my customer care draws, just as a way to thank you guys for supporting my business. Everyone who places an order the month before, so this draw is for January, then your names go into my little bucket here, and I had little Post-its made, and I will draw to see who wins those prizes. Okay, so the reason I'm doing that is just to kind of say thank you guys for placing your orders. Every $35 you spend gets you an entry, so some of you, especially during celebration, you got a couple entries in here, and I know I'll have lots of entries for February as well. So let's see what we've got. We've got a roll of Pool Party and white striped ribbon. We've got the Calming Camellia stamp set, and we also have an ink pad. So if you happen to own this ink pad, you're welcome to message me and say like, hey, here's a few colors I don't have. If I have them in my collection instead, then I'm happy to swap you out, because I know sometimes these base colors you might have. But I picked this one because I thought it was actually a really nice color to coordinate with some of the colors we've been using and some of the colors we're going to be using in March. Okay, so Cajun Craze is going to come in handy if you don't own it already. And so will Misty Moonlight. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a draw for the ribbon first. Look, I'm not looking. Okay, that would be going to Miranda Wenzel. So let me just put this on here for you. And I'm just going to write Miranda, and I will mail that off to you, my dear. Miranda Wenzel. Oh, Jill, you love the Laura, I'm sorry I can't demo the card again because I don't have another set. But this will be available on replay. So as soon as I sign off, then you can just watch the card again. So sorry, I only have one set of cards prepped and ready to go for the filming. And then Jill, yes, the Ladybug is certainly a really good set. Okay, number 2, let's draw for the Calming Camellia stamp set. And that one is going to Laura. Hey, it's a good thing that you tuned in. Oh yes, I can hold it up for you. There we go. So you'll have supplies for one of the two, either the blackberry or the white. There you go. Okay, so Laura, you have won the Calming Camellia stamp set. And I think you haven't picked up something from my bin, so I will add this for you. So you only have to make one trip. There we go. And last but not least, an ink pad. So that one, I have Cajun Craze, but if you own it, let me know. And that is Barbara Guilfoyle. We will swap you out if I have something that you don't own in stock. There we go. And so for you guys, just keep in mind, I'm going to do this draw every month. So if there's an order that you're placing, then you'll get an entry for that. I'll also be giving out extra entries for some things throughout the month, though. And I won't do them every month, but sometimes I'm going to post on my page a little challenge for you guys. So it might be giving you like a set of colors to work with and asking you to make a card with those colors. Or it might be showing you a picture of something from nature or whatever and saying, use this for inspiration. You can make a card with that. So if you post a card and participate in those challenges, I will also be giving you an entry into this draw. Okay, or sometimes I'll have a different draw if it's, you know, something seasonal or whatever. But this is an everybody can enter draw. And I thank you guys so much for participating in class and participating in just liking and commenting my posts, watching those videos. I really appreciate your support. So I hope you guys had fun tonight, and I really look forward to seeing your versions of these projects too. So make sure to post them in the comments of this video so that everyone can see the different versions of projects too. I will see you guys later, and I look forward to crafting with you soon. Bye!